Hello folks, my name is Mark, this is UCD Videos, how you guys doing? So it's time for another toy unboxing video, and for this one I've got some vintage Masters of the Universe knockoff toys here. So a little bit of a background is in order here before we go forward. Way back in the day, the original He-Man series, the Masters of the Universe toys, were immensely popular, and any toy line that makes lots and lots of money is going to have lots and lots of imitators, right? So this company called Sungold put out probably the most extensive line of He-Man knockoffs called Galaxy Warriors. The original Galaxy Warriors are actually pretty good quality. The quality of the toys are comparable to the original He-Man toys. So these are actually knockoffs of Sungold's Galaxy Warriors. And the thing about Galaxy Warriors is that throughout the years, the parts and molds and weapons and things like that for Galaxy Warriors have been used and reused over and over and over and over. So there's all kinds of different action figure series out there that will use pieces and parts of them. You know, whether it's the bodies or the arms or the weapons or whatever, right? And so that's what these guys are. These are actually knockoffs of Galaxy Warriors, which was a knockoff of He-Man. So I don't actually have any original Galaxy Warriors action figures to show you guys right now. So I would like to compare them, but I don't have any. But you can really sort of see here, once we open these up, you'll see what I'm talking about. So first thing we have is this one. This is Galaxy Heroes, which is a knockoff of Galaxy Warriors, right? The bubble is actually really screwed up on this one, which is why I'm going to open it. You know, normally, like, if this thing was actually looking pretty good, I probably would have kept it in the package, because it'd be worth something, but sometimes when you get a figure that's in this condition, you know, when the package is in this kind of condition, it's like, you know, you're not really going to be able to sell it for anything if that's what you're into, if you're like a collector that, you know, you do this to sell them later. Something like this, like you can see this has already been taken out and like re-glued on there, and there's like staples and crap on it, you know, and then like it doesn't even come with all the weapons, and then like it has like half a shield that's like broken. So yeah, I'm just gonna open this up and not feel bad about it. Right. But you can still kind of see what the original packaging looked like. You know, they had this sort of painting on the side here. The original Galaxy Warriors had like a Frazetta knockoff painting, right? So you can kind of see, you know, it's got this sort of fantasy thing with a dragon, blah, blah, blah. And if you notice here, the guy's head is a little bit bigger than the rest of his body. And that's because this particular knockoff line is actually a recasting of the original Galaxy Warriors. And that's why he's all like weird and small, and his legs are bent all weird and stuff like that. Anyway, you can kind of see on the back, says collect the whole range of accessories. These were all the other different figures that were out here. This particular card back doesn't actually name them, you know, but they all have different names, and eventually, you know, once we get our hands on some of the other original Galaxy Warriors, we'll do videos for those too. But, you know, you can see the different range of weapons, and you can see the armor on there. It's just like He-Man, the armor comes off, you know, and here's all the different guys, right? So, we're going to go ahead and open him in a minute. And then I want to show you these other ones. This came from a series called Troll Force, right? Which was also another He-Man knockoff thing. And these guys also use parts from Galaxy Warriors. So if you look at this arm right here, right? These arms and the legs and the torsos, it's like all reused parts, you know, from Galaxy Warriors. So Troll Force, right? He's like this sort of green-looking dude. So the gimmick behind these is that back in the late 80s and early 90s, trolls became a big thing. You know, trolls are those little dolls with the hair like this, right? And a couple of different companies tried to market them towards boys, right? And there was a line called Stone Protectors, for example. You know, they're basically just trolls for boys. So that's what Troll Force is. So Troll Force is like He-Man toys, but with boys in mind. And this line actually was a little bit more legit. You know, you can see there's other Troll Force figures. You got this Jungle Fighter. You know, there's like army dudes. This is the one we have right here, the Green Yuck. Right, and then of course, you know, there's like a superhero, ninjas. So the other one we have is this Black Ninja. We'll open both of these. And then there's the Roman and Viking wrestlers, of course. There were a lot of figures like this that were wrestlers, you know, and then our Terminator looking dudes, because this is right around the time that Terminator 2 came out. There are a lot of wrestling figures that are in the 5.5 He-Man style, because they just happen to be big buff dudes that, you know, it happens to translate well to a wrestling figure. Same thing here. So this is also the Troll Force Ninja, you know, actually kind of cool. He comes with some, this one actually has all the weapons with it. Comes with some nunchucks and whatever that thing is, a bladed tonfa or whatever that is. And you can see the package on this one is jacked up too. It's like all torn open or whatever. So yeah, another reason why I don't care about opening it. Same kind of deal, you know, basically the same card back. So, and these came out, I think, in the early 90s, you know, 91, 92, something like that. But what are you going to do, right? So let's go ahead and open up our Galaxy Heroes guy first. Okay, just sort of get him there. All right. And let's see. So this is actually stapled on. I'm going to see if I can do this without tearing this back, you know, because you want to kind of keep this stuff as much as possible, even though the bubble is completely destroyed on this thing, so that's why I'm not really concerned. You can see it came with his shield. It's like half a shield. So I'm guessing that this was already opened at one point, you know. So there we go. So that came out nice and easy. I'm guessing that this guy was opened at one point already. And yeah, there we go. See, he's okay, so this particular figure they have legs that don't move, right? So he's sort of in that squat position, like permanently, like this doesn't move, but this part actually does. And then you can move his head. Wow, it's like really kind of tight there. And his arms. And you see there's like bits of like plastic flash kind of hanging off. Like whenever you see bits like this on toys, that's called flash. So a bunch of that on there. So yeah, the quality on these guys really isn't that good. He still has his armor at least. And then let's see, he's got half a oh wow, that just broke right in half. That's like, that was fragile as hell. Okay. Well, that's what it did look like. Anyhow, so I do have a couple of other Galaxy Heroes figures that we can compare this guy to. Unfortunately, I don't have any more of the Galaxy Warriors, but I do have a couple of these other ones. So you can kind of see, you know, they all kind of came in this series, right? Here's another one. Like that, this dude was a little more used. I mean, you can see his head is a little more dirty, etc., etc. But he's got the same, basically the same body molds, you know. And another sort of Viking guy. This character is based on a Frazetta painting, which is actually based on a Conan story. There's a Conan short story called The Frost Giant's Daughter, and that's what that painting is based on. So I just want to do a comparison here with an authentic Masters of the Universe figure, so you can kind of see what we're getting at here. So you can sort of see what they're knocking off. You know, it's basically that sort of buff barbarian kind of look. And even with their legs, you know, you notice Masters of the Universe have this sort of like crouching stance with the legs, right? These guys do the same thing, but they're like hyper exaggerated. Right, and at one point they were actually, it looks like they were recasts and then they resculpted over it in order to sort of hide it so that it wouldn't be so obvious. So that's the idea behind all these sort of like knockoff figs. Like, they're supposed to be toys that, you know, when you're a kid you tell your mom you want He-Man, and then she goes to the store and she goes, oh, well, all of these toys are the same and this one's $2 cheaper, so I'll get these guys. Like, that's basically what they are. Anyway, stuff like this is actually kind of cool, you know. I mean, I don't really go out of my way too much to buy this kind of stuff, but if I find it at a decent price, I'll pick it up. For these other two figures, I don't know if these are the original weapons or armor. I kind of got them in a lot, so for all I know, they could have had different, like, armor on them. They could have had different weapons or different armor. I don't really know if that's the case or not. So anyhow, let's open up our Troll Force figures. Okay. Let's put these guys back here. They can kind of chill in the background. So let's go ahead and open up this Troll Force guy. Now of the three that I have, this one is probably in the best shape. But even this guy, like, you can see the bubbles all yellow. Like, it looks like it's been stored in some house where, like, the guy smoked or something. This is usually what happens when you, like, you know, smoke. It'll, like, screw up your toys like that. So, you know, for those of you who smoke in your toy collectors, don't smoke in the same room or smoke outside or something, because this is what'll happen. Anyway, but yeah, you can see the bubbles all, like, messed up and, like, crushed or whatever. So it's basically looks like it just was thrown in a closet for 30 years and forgotten about, and shit was piled on top of it or whatever. So yeah, I don't really feel too bad about selling or opening this guy. I mean, if I wanted to sell it, yeah, you could probably get 20 or maybe even 30 bucks for it in this condition. But yeah, it's not really, you know, that big of a deal. So let's try to open this guy up, and let's keep it as without tearing the back too much. Let's see. Oh, there we go. Okay. And let's pull him out. Managed to keep most of the bubble on the card there. And let's see. He actually looks pretty good. He's a lot more clean than our other dude. The legs look like they don't really move on this. Oh yeah, they do. Okay. So he does have movable legs. They just sort of spin. They don't really, it looks like they're on pegs, so they don't have that rubber band in them that He-Man figures have. They're just sort of on pegs, so that's kind of cool. I mean, you could get like a sitting position, you know, kind of, sort of, but that's all right. You know what? I don't want to mess with that too much, because that feels like that's going to snap right off if I keep messing with his legs, so I'm not going to bend his legs too much. His waist moves. It's very kind of tight. Feels like it's loosening a little bit. Arms are nice. Pretty cool. And he's got that crazy-ass troll hair. Let's see. Head is kind of rubbery, but you can't really squish it. Alright. Says 1991 TNT. Okay. Well, pretty cool, pretty cool. So, he at least comes with his original weapons. It doesn't feel like this one is going to snap on me. So that's good. This one is, it's a little more rubbery, so. And then he comes with this combat knife. Okay, so, let's see. The knife is way too big to fit in this dude's hand. It, like, will not. Wow. Alright. That doesn't fit. I don't know if you can see that from. Yeah, see, if I try to put that in his hand there, doesn't even, like, you see how his hand, it's not even, it doesn't even, like, go around enough, so. Yeah, he can't even really hold his weapon. Not in that hand, at least. What about this hand? Kinda can loosely hold it in that hand. Well, okay, I guess. And then, let's see, the shield is, okay, this is actually, the hole is too small to go around his wrist. You see that? Like, oh, well, there it goes. Okay, I guess, yeah, I'm a little, I don't want to snap that off. That's the problem. Although this is soft enough to where I don't think it's going to break off. So, yeah, I guess I can put that on his hand there. Okay, well, at least his shield goes on. I'm a little angry that his hand is like way too tiny to be able to effectively hold his knife. It's just gonna fall right out. So that's kind of crap. But you know, what do you expect? I mean, what did it say on there? $3.99 for these guys when they retailed. I mean, you know, even back in the 90s, $3.99 was cheap. But overall, you know, the quality of this guy is actually a little bit better than this one, I would say, for sure. Okay, now our last guy is Ninja. And his name is just Ninja Hero. So, alright. Ninja Hero. his bubble is all screwed up. I mean, you can tell right there, there's like a big ass, like, right through the middle. Right. I think I'm probably just going to throw this card back away because I don't need it because I have the other one. But, yeah, let's just... Okay, luckily he comes right out. Alright, cool. And then, let's see, he comes with some nunchucks. Okay. And one of these tonfas. Alright. Oh, there's actually Scotch tape on there. Okay. And, let's see, did he have any other weapons? Nope, looks like that's all the weapons he had, so... Alright, well... At least he's complete. Let's see, he's got a cloth hood. Feels like there's some elastic on there. I guess you could take that off if you wanted to. I'm guessing it's the exact same face. Yeah, it is. It's the exact same face. So, okay, well, that's kind of neat. Let's keep that on, you know, because I don't want that to get lost or whatever. One of the things about finding figures like this is that getting them, you know, with all of their accessories is usually very tough. You know what I mean? Like, finding them just straight up by themselves, not so bad. You know, you can usually find any of these on any given day, you know, just straight up without any accessories. And they usually cost between 15 to 20 bucks, but getting them with all their weapons and all of their, like, you know, helmets and this face mask, for example, stuff like that, you don't really see those very often. So, let's see. Yeah, he's got very, very long hair. Kind of cool. Same hand as the other one. So is he going to be able to hang on to this thing? Well, he can hold it like that. You know, I mean, you want it to be pointed outwards. But I think that's actually how he's holding it on the back of the... Oh, no. Well, okay, in the back of the thing, he's holding it in the other hand. So he's holding it in this hand. Yeah, that's a little misleading. I mean, that's just sort of dangles from the thing. Doesn't really hold it very much. And then he comes with a pair of nunchucks that are held together with this sort of rubber bandy kind of material. That's cheap. It's so cheap. But what do you expect, you know? I mean... Okay, so he holds the nunchucks a lot better. He's able to at least hang on to that without it, like, falling out of his hand and shit. But then this side, yeah, that he just doesn't hold on to this at all. This is just sort of dangling, you know, so... Not really a lot of action with these action figures. I don't think he would hold up in a fight with Skeletor very well. Let's see, same kind of deal. Yeah, I guess I'm looking at it. It actually looks like there is like an elastic band there. I mean, I don't know if you can kind of see, or is that like plastic? I don't know, but the legs feel very, very chintzy. The legs they feel like they're gonna snap at any moment if I like try bending them around. So I'm just not gonna play with their legs very much because I don't want to break them. I guess the lesson here, folks, is you get what you pay for. Right? These guys are, I mean, they're neat. I like stuff like this. It's neat, right? But I really don't really collect this sort of knockoff kind of thing very much. You know, like I said, I'll pick them up when they're cheap. I got all three of these probably for less than 20 bucks each. You know, I think this guy was like 15, and then this one was like 10 bucks, and you know what I mean? And that's about the right price for something like that. You know, because you see these things on eBay and such for, you know, $30, $40, $50, $60 sometimes. Especially if they're mint in the package, then they can cost as much as, you know, He-Man toys can, right? Not worth it. Not worth it at all. I mean, unless you're like an excessive collector that has to have one of everything or some shit, then yeah, go for it. But, yeah, you know... I mean, if you can get them cheap, then, you know, there's a little bit of charm in these things. Like, I don't know, I kind of like the weird ones more. Like, stuff like this guy. Like, this is just sort of generic, kind of mustached, porn star looking barbarian dude. Right? You know, not so much my thing. I mean, I really only bought him because he was cheap, but I kind of like the weird stuff. You know, the weird stuff like Troll Warriors. That's like a really weird, kind of offbeat, wacky, you know, action figure line that has no business existing. Like, I kind of like stuff like that, so I might pick up more of the Troll Warriors, and they're fun. It's fun to have stuff like this. There are people out there that this kind of thing is all they collect, bootlegs and knockoffs and stuff, and that's not really me, but, you know, once in a while when I find one that's cool looking, I'll get it. So